Less than an hour ago, President Trump finished his third State of the Union address. Now, the State of the Union has been going on for hundreds of years. I know that. But when you take a step back, you have to admit, it's kind of weird as a tradition, right? Because why does the president get to give his own job evaluation? That's strange. Nobody else gets to do that. He's just up there like, my economy, the best ever. My military, the best ever. My children, D+. Eric, you're holding us down. But this year's State of the Union was extra weird because, in case you forgot, it's happening right in the middle of Trump's impeachment, right? So for months, Democrats have been saying that Trump is a threat to democracy and a danger to the republic. But now they just have to sit there and clap while he gives a speech. That is wild. It's like it's like you're in the middle of firing someone who's belligerent at work, but then you get interrupted by their birthday party. You know what I mean? It's like, you were caught stealing, Jake. You're always late. You're a happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Now, not everyone was willing to deal with tonight's awkwardness. At least 10 Democrats decided that they were going to boycott the speech, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right? Who tweeted, and I love this, she was like, none of this is normal, and I will not legitimize it. Which makes sense, and I'm totally gonna use that excuse to get out of any plans in the future. I'm just gonna be like, it is not normal to throw a gender reveal party. I will not legitimize it. But for those who did show up, they got to witness a very awkward start to the State of the Union, where Nancy Pelosi tried to shake Trump's hand, but he was having none of it. Oh, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Now, look, either Trump didn't see Pelosi's hand, or he just didn't want to shake it. But honestly, I think it was probably for the best. Yeah, because she's wearing a white suit, yeah, and then she'd have nowhere to wipe off the chicken grease that's always on the president's hands. That combined with spray tan, it doesn't come out. But awkward handshake aside, Trump was focused tonight, and he dove right into his greatest hits.
I am thrilled to report to you tonight that our economy is the best it has ever been. Our families are flourishing. Our values are renewed. Our pride is restored. The state of our union is stronger than ever before.
You know what I love about old black people's faces? They always tell the truth. Always tell the truth. Because you can tell Congressman James Clyburn over here did not agree with that one. Like, look at that. That's the face of every old-timer in the barbershop when someone says any basketball player is better than Jordan. It's like, come on, man. He got 6 rings, and he beat the Monsters. Come on, man. Now, traditionally, the State of the Union is more about what the president has done and what he plans to do. But tonight, Trump took a lot of time out of his speech to show off his player-hating degree.
If we hadn't reversed the failed economic policies of the previous administration, the world would not now be witnessing this great economic success. My administration reversed the failing policies of the previous administration on Cuba. Under the last administration, more than 10 million people were added to the food stamp rolls. In 8 years under the last administration, over 300,000 working-age people dropped out of the workforce.
Come on, really? It's been 3 years since Obama's been out of the White House, but still, Trump is obsessed with him. He's just after. I wonder if he does this with Melania, too, you know? Just like, remember your ex, Ivan? Well, guess what? He still works at Slovenian Foot Locker. And I bet he never got you your own bedroom to sleep in. And you may remember, last year, Trump took a lot of flack for delivering a State of the Union address during Black History Month and barely mentioning black people. But this year, the commander-in-chief rode in on the Soul Train.
African-American youth unemployment has reached an all all-time low. African-American poverty has declined to the lowest rate ever recorded. We achieved record and permanent funding for our nation's historically black colleges and universities. Opportunity Zones, a plan spearheaded by Senator Tim Scott as part of our great Republican tax cuts. Opportunity Zones are helping Americans like Army veteran Tony Rankins. A few weeks ago, I signed a bill promoting Charles McGee to Brigadier General. Thank you, sir.
Damn. Donald Trump made sure that this time his speech was a lot more black. Yeah, although I do think he went too far when he delivered the rest of the speech in a do-rag. That was a bit extreme. It was a bit extreme. Now, of course, no Trump speech would be complete without an absolute blatant lie. And for tonight's address, Trump went with an old classic, and that is that he's the champion of healthcare.
I've also made an ironclad pledge to American families. We will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions.
Really? That lie is so extreme that if Trump was Pinocchio, he would have impaled Mitch McConnell in his seat. Just stabbed him right in the chest. Joke's on you, I'm all skin. Because here's the truth, right? Trump tried to kill protections for pre-existing conditions when he went after Obamacare. And right now, his administration is in court trying to kill it again. So him claiming to be the champion of protecting pre-existing conditions is like the coronavirus being like, I love Chinese people, I really do, I really do. But if there was one theme for tonight's State of the Union, it was Trump doing what he does best, creating a show made for TV.
I can proudly announce tonight that an Opportunity Scholarship has become available. It's going to you, and you will soon be heading to the school of your choice. And Rush, in recognition of all that you have done for our nation, I am proud to announce tonight that you will be receiving our country's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Tonight, we have a very special surprise. I am thrilled to inform you that your husband is back from deployment. He is here with us tonight, and we couldn't keep him waiting any longer.
Okay, he might not be a great president, but you have to admit, this man knows how to put on a show. Because the entire night, he just kept announcing surprise after surprise after surprise. Like, I thought by the end of the night, he was going to go, believe it or not, folks, I've locked up Hillary Clinton. Bring out the cage. Bring out the cage, Jeffrey Epstein. That's right, folks. Surprise, surprise. So, that was the final State of the Union of Trump's first term. And judging by the 212 standing ovations on the Republican side, they're loving their guy. But as for the Democrats, I think Nancy Pelosi's actions speak louder than words.
Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
She did. A stunning moment here at the end of the president's speech. Nancy Pelosi tearing up what appeared to be a copy of the president's speech.
Wow. Holy shit! Nancy Pelosi has done it again. I feel like every year she finds a new way to show Trump just how little she thinks of him and his speech. Because last year, you remember, was the sideways clap? You remember that? Yeah? And then this year she rips up his speech. Trump better pray he doesn't get another State of the Union, because at this rate, next time she's just going to show up and throw vegetables at him during the speech. Be like, no, please, no vegetables, no. I'd rather be re-impeached. Now, on a normal night, the State of the Union would be the major news. But right now, and here's something you only hear every 4 years, everyone is talking about Iowa. Yeah. Because last night was the Iowa caucuses, right? The first vote of the Democratic primary campaign. And normally, we would know by now who'd won. In fact, normally we would have known last night. But this year, Democrats decided to use a new app to help count the votes. And it has not gone as planned.
The only results from the Iowa caucus at this hour are chaos and confusion. Chaos, confusion, meltdown. Pick your adjective to describe Iowa caucuses.
What a mess. This is not the finish that anyone expected.
It certainly was a mess, and some here are calling it a disaster.
Organizers in the state cite a domino effect of problems for the delay, several issues with a new app where results were to be inputted.
They had a really crummy app that screwed up the entire thing.
Right now, no idea when we are going to know the results.
So everyone really is just waiting for these official results.
So we wait, and at the moment we have nothing.
You know what I love about cable news in America, right? Is their dedication to filling airtime with absolutely nothing, right? Because they're like, we're not getting any results, nothing is happening. It's like, okay, do you guys want to cover the coronavirus or some other international news in the meantime? It's like, no, we'll just keep talking about how nothing is happening. Anything yet? No, nothing? More nothing? Okay, more nothing, yeah. But yes, the app that the Democrats commissioned to make vote counting easier ended up malfunctioning and screwing up the entire night. And I guess, what do you expect? I mean, the average age of the party leadership is like 85 years old, right? What do they know about apps? The only thing they know about apps is that you get one for free with the early bird special. That's it. And honestly, it's a little embarrassing for the world's greatest democracy to have such a hard time counting votes. I mean, America is usually the one teaching the rest of the world how to vote. But maybe next time, Africa should send some election observers to Iowa. That's what they should do. They'd be like, I can fix this for you, huh? Yeah, we've been fixing elections for many years, don't worry. So because of this app, the whole night was thrown into utter chaos. Nobody knew what the problem was. Nobody knew who won. And eventually, the candidates got tired of waiting. And they came out to try and spin the non-results in the best way they could. Oh, we're happy, things are great, this is going to be good for us. But one candidate in particular took that to the next level.
So we're still waiting for any results from last night's Iowa Democratic caucuses, but that hasn't stopped candidates from spinning the non-existent results. Former Mayor of South Bend, Pete Buttigieg, declared victory overnight. Listen.
We know by the time it's all said and done, Iowa, you have shocked the nation. By all indications, we are going on to New Hampshire victorious.
Oh, okay, Pete. You're just gonna come out and claim victory even though no results were in at that point? That's a pretty bold move. I mean, maybe that's just his thing. Maybe Pete does that. Anytime anything's ambiguous, no one knows, he just jumps in. You know, like, now, nobody knows who built Stonehenge. He's like, oh, it was me, I did it. I did it. So the whole night was chaos. And what's really interesting, is that even before last night's meltdown, people were worried about relying on this app, right? But the head of Iowa's Democratic Party was like, don't worry, baby, we got this.
The day before the caucus, we asked State Party Chairman Troy Price if he had any fear about tech glitches or other problems.
Do you have a nightmare scenario, and if so, what do you do about it?
These are probably the most prepared we've ever been as a party for these caucuses. We've run through a few different scenarios, but I can tell you we're ready.
This is the most prepared you've ever been as a party? So what would have happened if you didn't prepare? Bad news, everyone. The app automatically changed all of the votes to the Geico lizard. So he's our nominee now. Now, even though last night was a disaster, honestly, the caucus system wasn't that great even before the app meltdown. It's a crazy, crazy system. Because in the Iowa caucus, you don't just come in and vote. It's a whole complicated system where you spend hours walking around and building coalitions in a hot gym. You know, it's like a high school dance without the possibility of a hand job. And apparently when there's a tie, that's when the rules get really dumb.
There's 11 delegates to split up, and you can't split them in half, so the fairest way to decide is a coin toss.
She's going to call heads or tails. Okay. Tails.
Well, you're watching me.
And then flip it over.
Heads.
Okay. It's bad enough to break ties with a coin flip, but it looked like this guy didn't even know how to do a coin flip. You can't have people that young flipping coins. They don't use real money anymore. We're lucky he didn't open the Venmo on his phone and just throw it up in the air. What was that? So the Iowa caucuses were a mess, and it never would have happened if the Democrats didn't try to rely on that new fancy app. Luckily, though, there's another hot new solution that just came out of Silicon Valley that can fix voting forever.
Introducing the latest in voting technology. Thousands of years in the making. Meet paper, the newest innovation in counting ballots. It's only 0.5 millimeter thin, fits in your pocket, and holds its charge forever. Paper has a user-friendly interface for election officials of any age with cutting-edge technology, really cutting edge. Available in both mini and pro models. Best of all, it's hacker-proof and always beats rock. Paper, why complicate things?
I can't wait for the future. We'll be right back.